We all know it can be difficult to recall what a good relationship feels like after spending a lot of time with someone who has a narcissistic personality. The problem with narcissistic individuals is not that we don't know they are bad for us. We actually do. The problem is that we find out too late. If you've ever wondered what a good relationship looks like, or what narcissism is all about, pay attention to this video, as you're about to find out. Here are some signs to look for in order to determine what constitutes a good relationship. Both parties pay attention and make an attempt to comprehend one another. Both parties admit and accept responsibility for their errors. In front of the other, both persons feel at ease and free to be themselves. You might be wondering if a narcissist is your boyfriend, coworker, or family member. While many people exhibit narcissistic characteristics such as arrogance and the belief that they are entitled to something, those diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder face a greater problem. Kimberly Perlin, a licensed clinical psychologist, thinks that living with a narcissist necessitates a different or more advanced emotional skill set. She specializes in assisting women in narcissistic relationships and also treats narcissists. Having a narcissist in your life can be aggravating and draining emotionally. It's possible that they're the center of your relationship. Their expectations may make you feel criticized and fatigued. Carla Marie Manley, PhD, a clinical psychologist, didn't recognize her older brother was a narcissist when she was a child. It was incredibly difficult growing up with this tremendously controlling person, she recalls. It wasn't until I was an adult that I realized that this sibling was a very damaged narcissist. Grandiosity is a major trait in narcissists. They believe that they are more important than others and seek praise. A wonderful example is one of Perlin's clients. When he saw my new website and was irritated that it didn't mention him, a client I had been working with for years ended treatment with me, she adds. Narcissists often have a strong sense of grandiosity. They have high levels of self-esteem, self-importance, self-confidence, and often feel like they're superior to others, are arrogant, take advantage of others to get what they want, believe they're unique or special, exaggerate achievements and talents, need constant admiration, feel envy toward others, believe others envy them. They exhibit a lack of empathy, are obsessed with fantasies of brilliance, power, or success, and have a sense of entitlement. Before we continue, subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to get notified whenever a new video is uploaded. Narcissists and relationships. From her older siblings' experiences working with narcissists, Manley learned a lot about them. I've discovered that narcissists are obsessed with themselves. They frequently believe they are perfect and place blame on others for problems at work, at home, or in social situations, she says. Narcissists will go to any length to achieve their goals. They often lack sympathy and are unable to form close bonds with others, even those closest to them. A narcissist may seek adulation at work, even if it is at the expense of others. They may take credit for others' efforts, disparage coworkers, or alter their conduct in order to gain acceptance from higher-ups. They may appear nice and hardworking on the surface, but there's usually more to them than meets the eye. A narcissist can have a negative impact on the entire family at home. If you're in an intimate relationship with a narcissist, expect them to be harsh, aloof, and contemptuous of you. It's possible that you'll feel unnoticed, mistreated, and alone. You may have been ignored or abused as a child of a narcissist. When dealing with a narcissist, especially one who is abusive, it's sometimes advisable to terminate relationships. I've opted to step back from engaging in a personal relationship with my sibling for my own emotional health, Manley adds. To learn more on how to deal with narcissists, keep watching. There's a lot more coming. What to do with narcissists. See them for who they really are. Those with narcissistic personalities have a knack for turning on the charm when they want to. You might be enticed by their lofty goals and promises. This can also make them quite popular in the workplace. But before you get too sucked in, pay attention to how they treat others when they aren't on stage. There's no reason to suppose they won't do the same to you if you catch them lying, manipulating, or openly disrespecting others. Your interests and needs are likely inconsequential to someone with a narcissistic personality, despite what they may claim. And if you try to bring this up, you could get some pushback. The first step in dealing with someone who has a narcissistic personality is simply accepting that this is who they are. There's not much you can do to change that. Break the spell and stop focusing on them. When you're in the company of a narcissist, it seems like all of your attention is drawn to them. That's by design. Narcissistic people work hard to maintain themselves in the spotlight, whether it's negative or positive attention. You could soon find yourself succumbing to this strategy, putting your own needs aside to keep others happy. It's possible that you'll never notice a break in their attention-seeking behavior. It will never be enough, no matter how much you change your life to fit their requirements. Allowing a narcissistic personality to permeate your sense of self or define your environment is not a good idea. You're important too. Remind yourself of your strengths, desires, and objectives on a regular basis. Take charge and schedule some me time. Take care of yourself first, and remember that it is not your responsibility to fix other people's problems. Speak up for yourself. Pick your battles, right? There are times when ignoring something or simply walking away is an appropriate response. However, a great deal is dependent upon the relationship. Dealing with a supervisor, parent, or spouse, for example, may necessitate different approaches than dealing with a coworker, sibling, or child. Some persons with narcissistic tendencies take pleasure in making others uncomfortable. If this is the case, try not to become visibly agitated or irritated, as this will simply encourage them to continue. You owe it to yourself to speak up if it's something you want to maintain in your life. Make an effort to do so in a calm, gentle manner. You must inform them of the influence their words and actions have on your life. Be clear about what is and is not acceptable, as well as how you expect to be treated. But be prepared for the possibility that they will just not understand or care. Set clear boundaries. A person with a narcissistic personality is frequently consumed by themselves. They may believe they have the right to go wherever they want, spy through your personal belongings, and tell you how to feel. Perhaps they offer you unsolicited advice and claim credit for your accomplishments. Alternatively, they may put pressure on you to discuss personal matters in a public context. They may also have a poor sense of personal space, causing them to frequently transgress boundaries. Most of the time, they don't even notice them. As a result, you must be really explicit about any boundaries that are important to you. What difference do the consequences make to them? Because when things start to hurt them personally, someone with a narcissistic mentality begins to pay attention. Just be sure it isn't a bluff threat. Only discuss punishment if you're prepared to follow through on them. Otherwise, people won't believe you the next time you tell them something. Expect them to push back. You should anticipate someone with a narcissistic personality to retaliate if you confront them. They may respond with their own demands if you speak up and set boundaries. They could also try to make you feel guilty or make you believe that you're the one who's being unreasonable and controlling. They might try to elicit pity. Prepare to stand your ground. They won't take you seriously the following time if you take a step backwards. Remember that you're not at fault. A person who suffers from narcissistic personality disorder is unlikely to admit a mistake or accept responsibility for hurting you. Instead, they tend to blame you or someone else for their own bad behavior. You could be tempted to preserve the peace by taking responsibility, but you don't have to diminish yourself to save their ego. You are aware of the truth. Allow no one to take that away from you. Find a support system. If you can't avoid them, attempt to strengthen your good relationships and social network. Spending too much time in a problematic relationship with a narcissistic partner might leave you emotionally drained. Rekindle existing friendships while also attempting to foster new ones. Spend more time with your family. If your social circle isn't as large as you'd like, consider attending a class to learn about a new passion. Participate in community activities or volunteer for a local charity. Do something that will allow you to meet more people with whom you will feel at ease. And recognize when you need help. Dealing with someone who has a narcissistic personality on a regular basis can have a negative impact on your mental and physical health. Consult your physician first if you are experiencing anxiety, depression, or unexplained physical issues. You might ask for recommendations to alternative services, such as therapists and support groups, after your exam. Make contact with relatives and friends and enlist the help of your support system. It's not necessary to go it alone. Bottom line. It's important to stay away from certain items if you're dealing with a narcissist. Do not dispute or confront them. It's best not to address a narcissist directly, according to Manley. As tough as it may be to continuously tiptoe around them, managing their need to feel in command may be preferable. Don't try to steer them in the right direction. Control is important to narcissists, and they're often afraid of losing it. Manley claims that efforts to lead or instruct a narcissist will often fail. Expect them to dismiss your point of view. Because narcissists dislike admitting they're incorrect or unlovable, trying to persuade them to view things your way could backfire. Expect little in the way of deep, meaningful communication. Because narcissists lack empathy. Honest, emotional speech typically falls on deaf ears, resulting in a furious outburst or shutdown response, Manley explains. Do not readdress previous problems. Don't try to persuade them to perceive a long history of behavior, or how they're just like their father, for example, Carolyn advises. Instead, stay in the moment when making requests or expressing hurt sentiments. Keep in mind that people with narcissistic personality disorder rarely change. Even if you improve your relationship management skills, it will most certainly never be a healthy relationship. Hey, you've made it to the end of this video. We hope that you have learned more about human nature and how to deal with people with a different personality. Which of the tips do you find most necessary? Let us know in the comments section. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. Oh, and turn on post notifications. Now, if you will excuse me, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.